So this evening, my wife and I had the opportunity to go down to Ithaca, New York tonight and see the all-state competition for high school band, senior high school band, as well as orchestra. And something happened while I was there that I want to talk about real quick. And this won't be a long conversation, but the piece that you're hearing right here, playing in the background, that is called Rosa Parks Blvd. And it was one of the pieces that the all-state band played. And the all-state band was led by a director from Baltimore, a woman of color, who commemorated the song with some, not subtle, but not in your face political commentary about how poignant and important the affect of Rosa Parks is today with everything going on in the world. And then she made a little aside about how she didn't want to get political. This wasn't the right place for openly talking politics. Fair. Absolutely fair. What I want to talk about, though, is what happened to me in that process. And it's going to be very easy for somebody to say, well, get a pair or whatever the case may be. But what happened was there was a gentleman sitting to my left, very blue collar. He had the look of somebody that clearly has worked really hard his whole life. And I come from a blue collar family. I can appreciate blue collar people. My parents were both factory workers. I've talked about that before on here. So being blue collar in and of itself is not something bad. I don't think it's something bad at all. As a matter of fact, I'm very proud of the people that work hard for this country. But there generally tends to be a correlation between certain people of blue collar class and their affinity for Donald Trump. So as she's making these comments during this performance, in between songs, as she's introducing this Rosa Parks Blvd song, I could hear him grumbling. He made some comments to who I would assume was his daughter sitting next to him. And I had a moment, possibly unwarranted, but it still happened for me, in which I took pause and was concerned that he would say something out loud, projected across the theater. He didn't. Everything was fine. No big deal at all. But what I find amazing about that, and why I wanted to discuss it, is because I think this might be something that we're all feeling. And those of us, and I'm not going to pretend anymore to act like I'm speaking to everybody. The people that are hardcore MAGA, the people that are making comments on my posts, the people that are on, places like Syracuse.com or the New York Times and making comments that aren't bots. These are sometimes often real people that have absolutely just depraved points of view. They're never going to listen to what I have to say. They don't care. They're going to mock it. They're going to mimic, they're going to make fun of me. They're going to make fun of the people that are out protesting. This is what they do. And it's from a point of fear, because, at the end of the day, they're losing this battle as it pertains to public opinion. Whether they want to believe so or not, the majority of people that are hardcore MAGA, they truly and honestly believe that they are in the right. They believe that they're the silent majority, and they could not be any more wrong than they are. Clearly, they were during the election. And I think part of the reason why they won that election, and why Trump won the election, I should say, is because he used populist tactics to make people believe that he was going to do the things that were going to help this country. And the only thing that he's followed through on was his promise to get rid of people that are in this country illegally, whatever that means, right? Dog with that noise. But I'm off track here. The point being is that I'm not going to try to talk to them anymore. I'm talking to the people that feel the same way that I do about what's going on in this country right now. And I'm sure you've also gotten into a situation in which you have felt that way, that you are in a place where somebody in public makes a comment that can be construed as political, and you're just waiting for the shoe to drop. And I don't know, I'm only talking about this because I really don't know what that means for our society right now in this very moment. Now, this isn't the most unusual thing that's ever happened. Political discourse has been going on in my entire life. I remember how passionate people were about Reagan when I was a kid. And of course, definitely with George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush, certainly with Obama, definitely with Clinton. I mean, he was actually impeached for having a blowjob in the Oval Office and lying about it. But this is different. This feels to me like I imagine Germans felt about Nazis. That this sense that you worry that they're around you, You worry that people with these bizarre political ideologies are around you, and you just hope to God that they don't speak out loud. But yet you know they're going to eventually. And it just makes you constantly uneasy. You're afraid. I find myself concerned about what I talk about, even with my wife in public, for fear that somebody nearby may hear something. The one thing with the Trump presidency and his campaigns for the presidency over the last few cycles is that, especially in the first one, when he ran in 2016, it's almost like people were afraid to admit that they were Donald Trump supporters. But now it's a badge of honor. They are a minority now. In fact, his latest approval ratings are now officially in the 30s. I think his last approval rating was something like 38. Maybe it was 39. I think it was 38%. And that was a Pew Research, I believe. Quote me if I'm wrong on that. Maybe it was Siena. It was one of the major pollsters, though. And they were doing an aggregate polling. So his aggregate polling now is in the 30s. That's monumentally bad. So his support is definitely a minority. But that minority is now incredibly vocal. They used to believe that they were the quiet majority, but they are not. They are a very vocal, very hate-filled, very antagonistic minority. And they're going to lose the elections really hard, assuming we have fair elections, right? Assuming we even, I mean, I don't think we're not going to have elections, but assuming that we have fair elections, they're going to lose dramatically. Another special election just took place where, once again, Democrats outperformed by a plus 15 from just back in this last November, or the previous November, I should say. So we are tracking, Democrats are tracking plus 15 across the board. That's just on average. So anyway, this is going to be a short video today. You got me right around 7 minutes. I just wanted to talk about what I saw. I'm going to leave you with a couple seconds here of Rosa Parks Blvd. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Christopher Hess. See you tomorrow with another video. Very good stuff. All right, have a good night. Hey, thanks again for watching the Christopher Hess Show. I'm really glad you took the time to watch. Now, if you liked what you saw, you can click right here. This will help you subscribe to my channel. Or you can click over here for a video that YouTube thinks is one you would like to watch. Once again, thanks for watching and have a great day.